My fellow Liberians, I want to say good evening to each and every one. We have come again to give a message because we strongly believe in Liberia, and we will continue to fight for our brothers, for our sisters, friends, families in Liberia, for those that are voiceless, that cannot speak for themselves. We will continue to invest our time to speak for them. My fellow Liberians, I have come tonight to request that we must stand up for corrupt leaders in Liberia before it's too late. It is very important that we stand up for against corrupt leaders in Liberia. Liberia is a very good country, but we cannot sit for history to pass us and we do not speak out. Where we see the truth, we got to make sure to speak against it. We cannot sit and allow corrupt leaders continue to mistreat our people, and we sit here around the world in our comfortable seats or homes, and we think everything is okay in Liberia. We will continue to speak against corruption in that society. So we are here to give a clear message tonight. One thing I passed by to point out that I want leaders to understand that our Liberians are very important and our Liberians must be respected. We cannot continue to disgrace ourselves. We cannot continue to do what we do and think that is very right. I strongly believe that Liberians, they are people of pride and dignity. And I strongly believe that leaders in Liberia should respect the rights of Liberia, no matter where they are, no matter which part of the world they are. I will clearly say here tonight, yes, I might be in different country. I might naturalize in different country. But one thing I want leaders to understand, that when you cut my blood will speak Liberians. What I mean? It means that this notion about telling Liberians that you are not citizen, so we'll try to block you for getting visa and all those stuff on social media, I think it's wrong. I think it's condemned. I also want to say here on this media, you know, putting images on social media of someone privacy that should be confidential. As a professional leaders, I don't think it's right to post someone information on social media. It does not reflect on the country to show professionalism. We got to be very cautious in terms of how we conduct ourselves in the Republic of Liberia. So we are standing up against corrupt leaders in the country. And we're standing up against bad leaders who continue to chase our brothers and sisters out from the country because they want to continue to do their clandestine act. It is not going to be tolerated. We are going to speak against it. And one thing we want to say here tonight, that no one can keep us silent, because we're going to stand up for justice. You might not like to hear us speak because you think we are so critical, but we're going to point out the ills in the society. If leaders are not doing the right thing in Liberia, we're going to speak against it. I want you to hear this message. I want you to know that there are Liberians out there that are ready and prepared to fight for justice, for the citizens, for the people, for the voiceless, those that cannot speak. We are here to speak for them, and we are prepared. So I want to let you know that you might beat one Liberian, but you have 10 other Liberians that are prepared to fight for justice. So I do not want you to waste your time. Folks, those folks in leadership that are so incompetent, that have no idea how to run a country, I want to send this message to you that we are all equally important, and there is no one that can or that will continue to come against us as Liberians because they feel that they are rebels and they can do whatever it takes to Liberians that travel to come in the country. It is not a good reflection of the country. So with that said, I pass by to let leaders understand that we demand justice for Emmanuel Service. If no one can come out to speak, some of us are here to speak for him. So we are demanding justice for him. I want leaders to understand. And for those corrupt leaders who continue to think that they can use the resources of Liberia to build houses, to enrich themselves, I want to let you know that you got challenge on your way. I want to let you know that people are watching. We are monitoring the system. Liberia is for each and every Liberians that were born and raised in the country, whether in or out of Liberia. We are all Liberians. We cannot continue to be divisive. So I pass by to send a clear message that we are going to stand against corrupt leaders. We are going to speak for justice. Liberians deserve justice in Liberia, West Africa. You know why they deserve justice? Because we have people that in your government that leading the Liberians that kill our people. Over 250,000 people died. And yet today you stand to block war crimes and economic hurt. We want to let you know that it's just beginning. Because one thing that I know as an advocate, as the young generation leader, war crimes and economic hurt going to be established in Liberia. So I just want to let you know, because you claim that you're going to rule for 12 years. I'm not here to dispute that fact with you. Whether you rule for 12 years, whether you rule for 6 years, that's your choice. We don't care. But what we care to speak for our people. Our brothers and sisters' right must be respected in Liberia. And that's what we care for. And that's why we are here. So we will continue to fight to speak our voices. You cannot and you will not silence us, because we're going to speak. We're going to speak. There are Liberians that are willing to sacrifice. So no one tell me that my brothers and sisters' rights going to be continue to be abused, and all Liberians going to sit around the world and keep silent. For me and myself, will never keep silent. And let me say this. I want to let all leaders understand one thing that maybe they might not know, that some of us know. If you are born on the soil of Liberia and you are naturally born, it doesn't mean because you got from the country and travel into X country and naturalize yourself, that means your Liberian blood was taken away because you naturalize yourself. I want us to clear that notion. Leaders, get this very straight. Because no matter what we do and how we do it, we are Liberians. And there is no way you can sit in Liberia and tell John Brown that, oh, because you have a naturalized citizen somewhere, that means you cannot come back in your country. I challenge that. And I'm here. This brother, I don't know him, but the fact that he was born and raised in Liberia, and as an advocate, when I see wrong going on, I must come out to point it out and make rectification and get the record straight. First of all, I don't know how true it is, but if his credential, like passport, was posted on social media, what kind of government are you? There is a Liberian speaking. We got to be professional. His Excellency George Montefiore, I want to send a message to you. You are president. When you are a president for the country, that means your professionalism is very high. You do not want to bring yourself down to a lower term for the world to look at you that you know nothing. The essence of being a president, it means people give you power to lead them and transform their life, not to steal from them. On the flip side, we want to let you know that there are a lot of things going on in Liberia, that we are monitoring the system day by day, month by month, and weeks by week. We know what's going on in Liberia. Our brothers and sisters, they're struggling. But you know why they have no voice? Because when they may have no food to eat, what do you expect? What do you expect? So you try to take their resources to weaken them. They have no money, so they have no choice. So you can come out and do what you want to do to take over the land and continue to steal from them. But we are going to challenge you as an advocate. We will not keep silent. We will continue to speak for our people, and will continue to speak against the wrongs in the society in Liberia, West Africa. That's what I want you to get clear. Because our generation, if we do not speak out for our brothers and sisters, and we continue to allow things going on against them, what will our unborn children question us tomorrow? What will be their question to us? What have we done as Liberians? Wherever you're sitting, I know you're in your comfort zone, but it's about time that we rise up together to speak against corruption in Liberia. It is time for us to rise up to speak against injustice against our brothers and sisters in Liberia. Yes. You cannot continue to chase our brothers and sisters from the country because you want to continue doing your clandestine deals in Liberia. We're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to keep silent. Justice must come to Liberia. This message is very short but very sweet. I want leaders to understand that you can take all the resources from Liberia. But one thing I want to let you know, you will come to justice. When your term is over, I want you to save this video. I want you to save this video. We're going to bring all corrupt leaders to justice. We're going to have a chance to ask you, where did you get the money from? We're going to make sure to take inventory on everything you have. We're going to caution you as Liberians. No matter where you are, we're going to trust you. We're going to bring you to justice. Whatever you achieve from Liberia is okay because you have the power. So you can do whatever you want to do. You continue to chase Liberians, from the country. Look at our brother, Martin K. and Kwali. He's in exile. He got to be in exile to speak, from exile. Why? When a brother is an activist that's supposed to be in a country, Liberia, to speak out his right to advocate for the voiceless. He can't because he's afraid of his life. So he got to be somewhere far from the country to speak for his brothers and sisters. What a disgrace on a country called Liberia. Liberia is the country of my origin. But I am not happy the way things running in Liberia. And that's why we are here to point out the ills into society. We cannot continue to violate our brothers and sisters' rights across the country. Liberia is our home of origin, but we will not condone corrupt leaders who call themselves leaders, but being a rebel, passing all over the place. When an advocate come in the country and you come against them and try to brutalize them, it must stop. It got to stop. We cannot condone it because not all Liberians going to tolerate it. We are here to stand for justice for our brothers and sisters. They have the right. You have no right to go against journalists in the country. These are people that carry out the news. Do you know their function in the country? Their function is to watch you. When you steal, they tell the public that you stole from the country. It is a function. And it is not your duty to come out and continue to threaten them, to intimidate them, to make them scared, all your scare tactics. But let me let you know something. There are Liberians that are around the world watching Liberia. Your corrupt attitude must stop because we are getting tired of it. Our brothers and sisters cannot continue to be beaten on. You can steal your money. That's fine. I don't care because you know what? You're going to be judged anyway. But when you touch the life of Liberians, if you're trying to go against Liberians, where you attacking them, where you sending your rebels to come on social media to attack them, then that's where we got problem. That must stop. You must stop trying to act very unprofessional. We demand justice for Emmanuel Service. You know why we demand justice from the Liberian government? Do you know why we demand justice from the Liberian leaders, the corrupt leaders in Liberia? Do you know why we demand justice? Because Emmanuel Service, you might not like him, or you might like him, or whatever the case is. I don't care. You know what I care? I care because over 250,000 people die in Liberia. Do you know what it means? Our brothers and sisters are dead. They cannot speak, but people are here to indeed speak for them. And that's why Liberians must rise up. Your eyes should open, or else you will never have a place called your home. There is something going on that we sit and we keep silent. Because you know what? When I talk, I'm afraid I will go by my own country. Let me tell you something. There is nothing to be afraid of. We will speak for justice, and nobody can silence us. Liberia must have the right leader. If you cannot lead our people, don't hurt them. That's all we're saying. Do not hurt them. Leave the critical voices. Let them speak. Why are you going against journalists? Is that why you came in power? So that when you steal, nobody should say anything, right? You continue to get rich out of our people. We shouldn't say anything, right? We should all keep silent and watch you because you are Messiah. You are not a God. I don't care who you are. I'm a Liberian. I have the right to speak my mind the way I want to speak it. The violation of our brothers and sisters should stop. Because you know what? It is condemned not only in our eyes, it is also condemned in the international eyes. You cannot continue to chase our brothers out of Liberia. And you think we're going to sit and we can't speak against it? The corruption is too high in Liberia. And the corruption must stop. We got to stop corruption in Liberia. Our people are suffering. When you go to the various counties and see our people, they are struggling. Do you see my people struggling? You are in your car. You use the resources, making yourself rich, but they are dying out of hunger. Do you see that? Our girls and boys are getting raped in those villages. Do you see that? or you only care to enrich yourself. And when someone talk, you want to go against them. You can never keep us silent, because we're going to speak, and we're going to monitor, we're going to watch, we're going to watch the ills in the society, and we're going to speak out for the voiceless, the one that cannot speak. That's what we're going to speak for. How you will continue to go after our brothers and sisters, your own citizens live in the country, because they are afraid there's no security for them in the country. Then we all sit and keep silent. No. Let history record my voice. I am a Liberian. I'm naturalized. I got it. But I am a natural born Liberian. So there is nothing I'm going to be afraid of. The corruption in Liberia must stop. Our people are suffering because you have a car and you're building houses. You're building everything that you have to build, and you keep comfortable under your AC when our people are suffering in Liberia, West Africa. We must speak against it. My fellow Liberians, if you cannot stand up, some of us going to stand up. The badness, the bad stuff that going on in Liberia is so bad that you don't see. But yeah, I don't blame Liberians. They continue to stand and worship this man like he is a Messiah or he's a God that on the land that no one can speak against him. He clearly said, and I quote, "If anyone insult me, you will bear the consequence." We are seeing it today. My question to you, Mr. President, what kind of president are you when all your people are putting mouth on you? You must wake up and smell the coffee. Our people need justice in Liberia. Do you know that you once served as a peace ambassador? So you claim, say, that you serve in that capacity? Do you know that you scam us? Do you know you promise our people that they won't be spectators in their own country? Have you forgotten, Mr. President? George Manawia, you must wake up and smell the coffee. Because there will be one person that going to challenge the system. Our brothers and sisters cannot continue to go through struggles. We will not keep silent. We will continue to speak out until the international community come in to make sure that things are under control. But we can never stop. Our voice will continue to speak for the 250,000 people that die in Liberia. We must bring those warlords to justice. They have to come to the tribunal and face the consequence. So if you are afraid of having justice in the country, then you're just starting. Because there are people, there are men and women that are ready to rise up and come to Liberia. We're going to march on the land of Liberia. Justice for the people that die in Liberia. Do you know what it means? A man, family was killed right before him. Do you know what it means? A child lose all his family in Liberia. And who are you to say justice cannot come to Liberia? We must have a war and economic crimes court in Liberia. Some of us going to sacrifice. Mr. President, I want you to hear this message and hear us clear. We are going to sacrifice because our people die in Liberia. Do you know how many people die in Liberia that you are standing against the war and economic crime court? We're going to not keep silent until we have justice in Liberia. We must have justice in Liberia. Do you know what it means that you came in the country and you say you're going against corrupt people in the country when you are protecting them in the country? We know them. We know their history. Someone that say live in Liberia and they have 6 to 7 cars and Converse walking around the time, and you protect their image. We know it. We know our history. We are not going to allow the over the 250,000 people that die in Liberia for the history to be canceled. We are going to speak. We must have justice in Liberia. Somebody going to hear our call. Liberia should have justice. We cannot tolerate people that kill our people, our families. They have important position in Liberia, and you protect them in the government. Who are you? Are you a president? Or are you just a regular person who came in the country and continue to steal resources from the country? Liberia belongs to everyone. Liberia belongs to all. It is not for one person. My friend, I will speak my mind because I was born on that soil. I went through the war, the Civil War came, I was a victim of the war. But one thing we cannot tolerate, Mr. President, we cannot tolerate you continue and your men continue to violate our people, our advocates that come in the country. We want to stand up for our people, and you continue to send your men to butcher them. We are not going to tolerate. And that's why we demand justice for Emmanuel Service. And Mr. President, I want you to get this message very clear. You must apologize to Martin K. and Kwali. Do you know he's a citizen of Liberia? Do you know he left the country because of the bad behavior? What have we reached to? What are we doing for our people? Are we being fair to our people? Do you understand your boys in administration are building houses on our people resources? Do you visit those things? Do you talk to your boys? Do you talk to those criminals in administration? Bunch of criminals continue to unwrap our people, continue to rape our girls, and nobody can say anything. Mr. President, until you get things straight, we will not stop. You will not silence us. We will continue to speak for our brothers and sisters. We must advocate. Liberians, we cannot keep silent, or else you won't have a place called your home. Liberia is a free land of liberty. The love of liberty brought us here. While we continue to go against one another, when we should unite and come together as brothers and sisters. While we continue to go against our brothers and sisters. Is this half how we came? Sweet Liberia have turned to bitter Liberia. What are you doing to change the lives of Liberians? Do you know the boy that robbed wheelbarrow? Do you know the children that were on the street selling? They all came together just to vote you in office. You know what that means? Yes, we are judging you based on your promises given to us. That's what you say. You was going to go against corruption. What are the corruption you're going against? Yourself have become the corrupt leader in the country. And that's why we can't speak. Listen, man born to die one time, but we must speak the truth. We cannot continue to live in darkness, and no one can speak against it. So we're going to speak, Mr. President. We must stop the corruption in Liberia. We must stop the injustice in Liberia. We must protect the lives of our people. We must protect them. They must feel safe. Why you will change the country to a dictatorship country? Why people can no longer speak for themselves and speak for people? They have fear. It is important, Mr. President, that we put our act together. It is important, Mr. President, let us treat our people right. Let us protect the citizens of the country. Liberia belongs to all. Not few hands for the people. It is injustice to stand against human rights in the country. It is injustice to stand against the war crimes and economic court in Liberia. You know why it is injustice? Do you know how many people die in Liberia? Do you know who killed our people in Liberia? Today they are in government. You continue to recruit them. My fellow Liberians, if we don't act now, Liberia going to be a place where you're going to be afraid to go. But one thing I want to say before I leave this broadcast, we cannot keep silent. We're going to speak. Because the only thing you know to do is like you flock my brother, Emmanuel Service. That's all you can do. You flock, you kill, and that's it. That's all you do in Liberia? That's the consequence? So Liberia cannot speak for their own right anymore in Liberia? It must stop, and it must stop now. That is a message I want to give tonight. Liberia need justice, and justice must prevail on the land of Liberia. We will not keep silent. And that's the message I want you to get tonight. Thank you so much, and I hope you get this message. Thank you and good night.